Hello there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV One for the News First. Well, the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan.
And I'm Thiruni Karunaratna. Here are tonight's top stories. Sri Lanka's foreign direct investments jump by $96 million. Board of Investment officials brief President on progress. Sri Lanka gains international praise due to transparent governance. A statement from JVP General Secretary Tilvin Silva. Deputy Minister Dr. Harsha Peruma resigns from Parliament to take up Finance Ministry Secretary post. NPP receives SLPP support for power establishment in Galle Municipal Council. Former Mayor Priyantha Sahabandhu's SLPP membership suspended after backing NPP. Tusa Halalua granted bail. Rambukala's daughter also released. Iran opens airspace for 3 Indian aircraft amid Israeli attacks.
On to those stories in detail. The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka has successfully increased foreign direct investment by $96 million in the first quarter of 2025 compared to the same period in 2024. This was disclosed today during a progressive review meeting of the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, chaired by President Anurukumara Dissanayake at the Presidential Secretariat.
The Progress Review meeting of the Board of Investment was held at the Presidential Secretariat today. Relative to the first quarter of 2024, domestic investment rose by $21 million, while export income increased by $176 million during the first quarter of 2025. BOI officials pointed out that in total, Sri Lanka has attracted $4,669 million in foreign investment thus far in 2025. President's Media Division announced that the meeting also focused on the issues and challenges associated with attracting investment to the country and discussed potential strategies to address them. Addressing the meeting, President Anurukumara Dissanayake stated that the Board of Investment holds a pivotal role in enhancing the national economy and improving the living standards of the rural population. He stressed that the opportunities to attract investment in traditional sectors are becoming increasingly limited, and therefore the nation must identify new areas for investment, an endeavour that falls under the BOI's mandate. The President further noted that Sri Lanka has attracted only around $22 billion in investment since 1978. In comparison to other countries in the region, he stated Sri Lanka must advance rapidly, referencing Vietnam's achievement of securing $23 billion in investment in 2022 alone. He went on to state that the BOI should prioritize the expansion of investment in the services sector and proactively seek new investment opportunities rather than focusing solely on recapturing missed ones.
The delegation, led by the General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Tilvin Silva, returned to the island last night after concluding a 10-day visit to China. Speaking at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake, Tilvin Silva said that Sri Lanka has gained strong international credibility due to its commitment to conducting honest and transparent dealings with all countries.
I think we can use China's experience to help our own country. This visit was very successful. They are in agreement to continue helping Sri Lanka. I believe this visit will be somewhat important for us in strengthening the friendship between Sri Lanka and China and for them to help us. We are the government that has created the most international corporations in Sri Lanka because our government has stopped fraud and corruption, and we deal honestly with any country. We work while protecting the honor of our country, without kneeling to anyone, without being subservient, and without antagonizing others. That's why many countries in the world respect us and our government.
Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning Dr. Harsha Peruma pointed out in Parliament today that the government is currently implementing measures that were previously deemed impossible.
The country's economic collapse was the result of an unqualified and short-sighted group mismanaging the economy under the previous administration. They failed to implement a coherent and effective economic plan. In contrast, we are now clearly demonstrating that we are implementing the very policies that were once promised. Policies aimed at building a prosperous nation and better life for all. What have we done? We gave government officials the courage they needed to do what was previously considered impossible. We removed political interference from the process, and we created space for them to voice their opinions freely and make sound decisions without fear. We provided the necessary resources and support to public institutions. As a result, we have shown that even within a short period, using the same officials and existing institutional framework, the current government has been able to implement the very initiatives that were once deemed unachievable.
Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Harsha Peruma, has resigned from his position as a Member of Parliament. The President's Media Division confirmed that he has submitted his resignation to the Speaker. Dr. Peruma stepped down from his position as a Member of Parliament in order to take on a new role as the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance. Moving on to more local news, during the vote held today to appoint the Mayor of the Galle Municipal Council, 3 members of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna who were elected to the council extended their support to the National People's Power. The SLPP stated that as a result of this decision, disciplinary action has been taken to suspend the party leadership of SLPP member Priyantha Sahabandhu. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna pointed out that support for the NPP from members of local government bodies has come not from political parties but from individuals.
In the Galle Municipal Council, the National People's Power holds 17 seats, the Samagijan Balawege has 9 seats, the United National Party has 5 seats, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has 3 seats, and the Podujana Eksat Peramuna holds 2 seats. At today's council meeting, a secret ballot was conducted to decide the procedure for electing the mayor. In the vote, 20 votes were received in favour of a secret ballot, while 17 votes were cast against. Opposition party members accused the 3 SLPP councillors of voting in favour of the National People's Power, which caused protests from other opposition party members. The situation was brought under control following police intervention. Opposition members then exited the council chamber while the 3 SLPP councillors remained in the session. Subsequently, a vote was held for the position of council chairman, where 19 members from the National People's Power and Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna voted in favour of the NPP's candidate H.I. Sunil for mayor. 1 vote was rejected. For the deputy mayor position, former mayor Priyantha Sahabandhu was nominated by the SLPP and was elected unanimously.
ප්‍රියන්ත ගොඩගම සහබන්දු මහතා ගාල්ල මහනගර සභාවේ නියෝජ්‍ය නගරාධිපති ධූරය සඳහා තෝරා පත් කර ගන්නා ලද බව මා නිවේදනය කරනවා.
Meanwhile, this evening, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna announced that it had suspended the party membership of Deputy Mayor Priyantha Sahabandhu and decided to take disciplinary action against him for acting against party decisions.
The Janata Vimukti Peramuna that criticised certain people for their transparency, uniting with the same people and requesting a secret ballot shows what exactly they can do. Going forward, a disciplinary inquiry will be held against him and his party membership will be revoked. Immediately after that, he will lose his council membership and all positions he holds.
නගර සභාවේ ඔහුගේ සභිකත්වය අහිමි වෙලා ඔය ලබාගත් තනතුරු සියල්ලත් අහිමි වෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
This was Deputy Mayor Priyantha Sahabandhu's response.
We were actually acting as the genuine opposition party. At the time of the secret ballot, there was a lot of confusion and we requested an open ballot. But some groups tried to disrupt that and some MPs voted in the secret ballot to try to push us out. We were unfairly treated. Some members left the council. We said that under such conditions we cannot cooperate as the opposition, so we did to remain in the council. Accordingly, the secret ballot for mayor was held and the NPP candidate was elected. Even during the deputy mayor election, no other opposition group came into the council. No one else was nominated for deputy mayor. We did not expect to become deputy mayor. My fellow councillor nominated me. We never had any talks with the NPP here. We had some requests, but the opposition was not given the opportunity to raise them. I believe this was an internal sabotage by some common opposition members. That's what happened today.
සම්පූර්ණයෙන් මට හිතෙනවා මේක මේ ඇතුළෙම හිටපු පොදු විපක්ෂම කීප දෙනෙක් විසින් මේක කඩාකප්පල් කරන්න ගත්ත ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ප්‍රතිඵලයක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් මේ උනේ අද කියලා.
This was the clarification from the General Secretary of the Janatha Vimukthi Peramuna regarding support received from the members of other political parties in local government bodies for the National People's Power.
We did not receive party support. Individual councillors and members gave their support. We actually won more seats in local government institutions. The opposition lost power in those days, so they united to support those groups. But even in the Colombo Municipal Council, they couldn't gain power. It is after N.M. Periram was made mayor for the first time in history that this time progressive leftist forces established control in the Colombo Municipal Council, and the Samugi Janabalawega and United National Party lost. That means they are being politically sidelined.
Deputy Minister Mahindra Jai Singh expressed his views in Parliament today regarding the formation of power in local government institutions.
Even at the last presidential election and back in 2019, do you remember how these so-called clean individuals camped against the SLPP? How they shouted about punishing fraudsters and corrupt individuals. It is those very same people who are now striking backroom deals and dividing councils among themselves. What is the situation today? We've seen members of the SJB being offered positions in regional councils like Kandakatia. I do not agree with their decisions. This is the truth. Raw testimony of what's happening in local and municipal councils today. They know that the National People's Power is gradually lifting this country up after decades of decline, and it has left them rattled. No matter who supports whom, we guarantee this country that we will not stop our actions against corruption and wrongdoing. Nothing will deter us. Now Sajid and Namal are working together, dividing up council power. Positions like council chairs are being given to the SLPP, even in places where they have fewer members than the SJB. Now they are sealing deals, getting ready for the next presidential election. So where are the promises they made? We are telling them now that these deals aren't accepted by the people, not by the party members, and certainly not by the voters. Today we even saw party memberships being revoked. I saw that the SJB had suspended party membership too. It won't be long before the people suspend their support for these parties entirely. Didn't some of them go to meet Kehelia today? Maybe they went to see Namal and Kehelia. Look at the situation. Some former MPs like our own Rohita from Kalutara, who aren't even in parliament now, are holding press briefings outside. These are the same people who voted against the no confidence motion to protect Kehelia back then. And now they act like saints when speaking to the public.
According to parliamentary standing orders, MP Harsha Raja made a statement in parliament today under the provision for personal explanations.
මේ පහුගිය දින කිහිපය තුලදී මගේ නමත් සඳහන් කරමින් නැවතත් මේ ලයිස්තුවක් පිළිබඳව
Over the past few days, certain media reports have repeatedly mentioned my name in connection with a so-called list, alleging that I have engaged in improper acquisition of assets. It has been claimed that I have received certain properties. I want to make it very clear that every asset I own was received from my parents, not through any undue means. I'm not someone who has acquired wealth illegally and engaged in politics with that. If there are politicians who have unlawfully acquired assets, then those cases must absolutely be investigated and the law enforced swiftly. But what's happening here? Dragging my name into lists and smearing my reputation is disgraceful. Honourable Speaker, under your leadership in this parliament, I must say that a grave injustice has been done to me as a representative of this parliament.
The Colombo High Court has scheduled the case against former Minister of Women and Child Affairs and Dry Zone Development, Chandran Bandara, for the 18th of July. On the 6th of June, the Colombo High Court served an indictment against former Minister of Women and Child Affairs and Dry Zone Development, Chandrani Bandara, on charges of corruption for allegedly appointing her associates to various positions during the government of good governance. Subsequently, the presiding judge granted her release on 2 surety bails of 1 million rupees each. The case has been filed by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption under multiple indictments.
Daughter of former Minister Rambukala Chamitri Rambukala has been released from prison after fulfilling her bail conditions. She was arrested by officials of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption on charges related to money laundering. Although the Colombo Chief Magistrate had ordered her release on bail, she was remanded further as she had failed to meet the bail requirements. However, she was released this afternoon after successfully meeting those conditions.
Former Executive Director of the National Lotteries Board, Tusa Halalua, who was in remand custody, was released on bail today. He had been in custody in connection with the alleged misuse of a computer and a mobile phone valued at over 470,000 rupees obtained from the National Lotteries Board. When he was produced before the Fort Magistrates Court this morning, Fort Magistrate Nilupuli Lankapura ordered his release on 2 surety bails of 1 million rupees each. A travel ban was also imposed on him. The case is scheduled to be taken up once again on the 10th of October. Colombo Chief Magistrate Thanuja Lakmali Jayatunga today ordered 3 officials of the Department of Motor Traffic, including the Deputy Commissioner, to be remanded until the 4th of July following allegations of accepting bribes of nearly 4 million rupees. The suspects include Dilan Nuan Kumara, a Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Motor Traffic, Assistant Manager Pradeep Nishantha and Clerk Samantha Pereira. Filing a further report, the investigating officers said that the investigations into the suspects are being carried out under Section 109 of the Bribery Act. The 3 suspects were arrested during a sudden raid carried out by investigating officers on the afternoon of the 23rd of May, following a period of covert surveillance based on confidential intelligence received by the Bribery Commission. During the raid, investigators informed the court that over 3.9 million rupees was found in a cupboard inside the office of the first suspect, while more than 200,000 rupees was discovered in the bag of the third suspect. The officers also informed the court that all CCTV footage recorded on the day of the raid within the institution's premises had been erased. They also stated that investigations are underway with the assistance of the University of Moratua regarding this matter. Lawyers representing the third suspect told the court that the relevant departments had informed the investigating officers that the CCTV system at the Narahenpita branch of the Department of Motor Traffic had been inactive since last April. The lawyers clarified that the cupboard where the money was found is a communal storage area within the institution and is not personally assigned to their client. The case is scheduled to be called up again on the 4th of July.
Top diplomats from UK, the EU, Germany and France met with Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Geneva as part of efforts to ease the Israel-Iran conflict. Ahead of the meeting, UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy said A window now exists within the next 2 weeks to achieve a diplomatic solution.
The Israeli Air Force said more than 60 of its warplanes hit dozens of targets around Tehran and other sites, including the headquarters of Iran's nuclear research agency, using around 120 munitions. Iran's retaliatory attacks have resulted in the displacement of more than 8,000 Israelis. An Iranian missile struck a technology park in the southern Israeli city of Beersheba, damaging several buildings in an earlier strike. No one was killed, but 7 people were taken to the hospital for their injuries. The global nuclear watchdog confirmed that an Israeli attack on an Iranian nuclear site under construction near the city of Arak caused damage to key buildings. Israeli warplanes bombed the Arak heavy water reactor on Thursday, though the IAEA said the facility contained no nuclear material. In a statement, the head of the IAEA said while there has been no major radiological incident as a result of Israeli strikes, there is still risk of a radiological accident. The White House has said that US President Donald Trump will decide whether or not the US gets directly involved in the Iran-Israel conflict within the next 2 weeks. In a White House press briefing, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt delivered a message directly from Trump.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. He claims that the US wants to return to the negotiating table to discuss Iran's nuclear program, but that Tehran rejected the request. He says that there is no room for negotiations with the US until the Israeli aggression stops accusing the US of being a partner to Israeli crime against Iran. Director General of the World Health Organization said in an X statement that the attacks on medical facilities is appalling, citing today's strike on Israel's Soroka Medical Center, the only major hospital in the south, led to the evacuation of 250 patients and left the hospital partially damaged. He also referred to an airstrike on Tehran 3 days ago, in which 3 Iranian Red Crescent workers were killed during a rescue mission. Meanwhile, a hospital in Kermanshah was damaged by a nearby explosion, injuring around 15 patients and staff. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, Qatar's foreign minister, said that Israeli targeting of economic facilities in Iran could lead to catastrophic regional and international repercussions, particularly in connection with the stability of energy supplies. Hundreds of thousands of people protested against Israel in Iran's capital of Tehran after weekly prayers, chanting slogans in support of their leaders, according to images on state television. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi says his country won't enter negotiations with the US until Israeli strikes stop. Araghchi met with European foreign ministers in Geneva today in the first face-to-face talks with Western governments since Israel started the latest conflict last week. Countries around the world are taking measures to evacuate their citizens from Israel and Iran as the two nations enter the 7th day of their air war and airspace in the region remains closed.
Let's move on with WeForce. Together for a better tomorrow. Join us at the University of Kelaniya on the 23rd of June, 2025.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
ඔබ වයස අවුරුදු 16ට වැඩි නම්
සුවිශේෂී නර්තන රිද්මයන්ගෙන් යුක්ත නම්
ඔබේ හැකියාව රටට පෙන්වීමට හොඳම වේදිකාවයි මේ.
ඔබ සමාජිකයන් 15වත් අතර කණ්ඩායමක් සමගින් අදම අයදුම් කරන්න.
Sirasa Dancing Star.
නිෂ්පාදක සිරස ඩාන්සිං ස්ටාර් තැපැල් පෙටිය 100 රත්මලාන. WhatsApp 071 799 77 88.
Welcome back to Primetime News on TV1. Sirasa TV, the trailblazer in bringing globally acclaimed standard-setting programs to Sri Lankan audiences, is now ready to present its latest international experience, Sirasa Catchpoint. The official launch of this brand new program took place yesterday at the Stein Studios in Ratmalana, marking yet another milestone in Sirasa's journey of redefining entertainment in Sri Lanka. Who wants to be a millionaire? Sri Lanka's Got Talent, The Voice Sri Lanka and Money Drop. Having gifted Sri Lankan audiences with many internationally renowned programs, Sirasa TV, the pioneer in bringing global formats to local television, now presents its latest premium offering, Sirasa Catchpoint. Catchpoint is the latest production by ITV Studios, a global leader in television entertainment. Sri Lanka also becomes the first country in Asia to secure the broadcasting rights for Catchpoint.
තරඟකරුවන් දෙදෙනෙක් එකතු වූ කණ්ඩායම් දෙකක් කුතුහලය පිරි තරඟ වට හතරක් දැනුම සමග ක්‍රියාශීලීත්වය මුසු වූ වෙනස්ම ගේම් ෂෝ එකක්.
Sirasa Catchpoint is hosted by popular young actor Yash Veerasinghe.
උත්තරේ හරි ගියා හෝ වරදුනා හෝ කොහොම හරි කරලා රෝස පාට බෝලේ අල්ලගත්තොත් ඕගොල්ලෝ දිනු.
The official launch of the show was held yesterday at Stein Studios in Ratmalana with the presence of Group Director and Head of Electronic Media at the Capital Maharaja Group, Shaban Daniel, Chief Operating Officer of MTV, Yasarat Kamal Siri, and other distinguished guests.
I think the catch is to keep doing something new. When we introduced 5 million money drop about 2 years ago, it was a very, very new concept, and of course at the time there were many questions. Would it work? Would people like the fact that you start off with 5 million, then you actually lose the money? But I think when you do something new and something that also challenges participants and competitors, the audiences tend to love it. And this is the thinking behind Catchpoint. We have so many global franchises running on the channel right now. I think it's probably the one channel in maybe South Asia that has so many global partners, including the ICC and the ACC in sports. And that would only heighten and enhance the world-class entertainment experienced by Sri Lankans. And we believe that by doing that, you're only providing a platform for Sri Lankans to reach their potential. So that's the thinking behind it.
It must be stated that there is a massive technological procedure behind this program. That is because we need to follow the exact technical procedures that ITV did in its international program. You may have seen how those balls fell from above. There is a special software for that. The credit for the creation of this software goes entirely to our technical experts here at Stein Studios. They created this software in Sri Lanka on behalf of ITV. You too can witness the excitement of Sirasa Catchpoint from the 12th of July onwards on weekend Sirasa TV.
Sirasa Catchpoint.
Gamata, a movement deeply committed to the continuous betterment of children of Sri Lanka, today presented a heartfelt gift to the students of the Malighatana Mahavidyalaya in Monoragala.
This marks the opening of a life-changing clean water project for the Malighatana Mahavidyalaya in Monoragala. A school that is home to 1,300 children, where both students and teachers had silently endured the daily struggles of clean water scarcity. Some of these children, heartbreakingly, are already suffering from kidney disease. In desperation, the community turned to Gamata. On the 11th of January, the Gamata team arrived in Malighatana with the heartfelt support of Mantri Amarasinghe and his wife from Boralla. The foundation for this essential water project was laid. And today, that promise became a reality. The project was officially declared open amid a gathering filled with gratitude, teachers, government officials and villagers standing together in hope and pride. On this same occasion, the third phase of a special initiative to provide nutrition packs for pregnant mothers was also launched. This effort is a collaboration between Gamata and Google Beneviti, reaching out with compassion to uplift lives in quiet but powerful ways.
News First with the people.
Far from the city noise, under a mango tree, children turn broken desks into a stage. They sing, they dance, they try. No bright lights, no big crowds, just a small school and big dreams. Change is coming. An open-air stage for the Kattaragama Primary School. Gamata, for the people, by the people.
Across the nation, talents and dreams are ready to shine. Introducing new faces and extraordinary performances from every corner. We proudly present some of the finest rising stars.
Daphne Crown, Season 2!
June 7th onwards, every Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. only on Shakti TV.
The Voice Sri Lanka Season 3, an international experience that was brought to you by Sirasa TV, saw its winner Imesh Sandeepa begin his journey today from Kandy to his hometown Gampola, where he received a warm and enthusiastic welcome from fans along the way. Making history in Sri Lankan television by bringing fresh and innovative experiences to the public, Sirasa TV's The Voice Sri Lanka stands out as one of the most prestigious international music shows ever produced. Captivating the entire nation, Imesh Sandeepa claimed the crown of The Voice Sri Lanka Season 3 last Saturday, surpassing the other three finalists in a thrilling grand finale. This morning, a motorcade toured the streets of Kandy to welcome him, starting from the Kandy Clock Tower. He received a warm welcome from spectators and school students while travelling from the Kandy city centre premises to Gampola. Imesh also visited his alma mater, Jinaraja Boys College, Gampola, where he received a warm welcome from the principal and students. He then joined the finalists of The Voice Sri Lanka Season 3 for a live performance in the heart of the Gampola town. A large crowd from the town had also gathered for the occasion.
The annual general meeting of the MBA Alumni Association of the University of Colombo was held today.
The 28th annual general meeting of the MBA Alumni Association of the University of Colombo was held in Colombo today. Tilvin Silva was appointed as the president for the term 2025-26. Suranga Jayaratna was appointed as the secretary and Tantiri Supeshala was named as the deputy president of the association. The executive committee was also announced during the annual general meeting.
The United Nations has verified over 41,000 grave violations against children in 2024, a 25% increase from last year and the third year in a row that the numbers have risen.
A staggering 41,370 grave violations against children were documented and verified by the United Nations in 2024, marking a 25% increase from the previous year and the third consecutive annual rise, according to the UN Secretary General's latest report on children and armed conflict. Of these violations, 22,495 are directly targeted children, while the remainder involved attacks on schools, hospitals, and humanitarian infrastructure meant to serve them. The report highlights that these figures only reflect independently verified cases, suggesting the actual number of violations may be significantly higher. The rise is attributed to indiscriminate urban warfare, disregard for peace agreements, and worsening humanitarian crisis. The report also names 8 countries where government forces were responsible for grave violations: DRC, Israel, Myanmar, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, Syria, and Russia. The UN has called on all member states to uphold international law and expand protection and recovery services for children affected by the conflict.
Korea Week 2025 K-Movie Night was held in Colombo yesterday.
As part of Korea Week 2025 celebrations, the Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Sri Lanka hosted a special K-Movie Night, showcasing acclaimed Korean films to local audiences. South Korean ambassador to Sri Lanka and other dignitaries attended the event. The movie, The Admiral, Roaring Currents, was screened yesterday.
We hope that this Korean festivals will be able to bring the Korean films and Korean entertainment and Korean arts to Sri Lanka, and hope that we'll be able to have more cultural exchanges between Sri Lanka and Korea. As far as I know, there have been a lot of activities to bring in different Asian cultures and Asian filmmakers to Korea, because Korea also annually has a Busan International Film Festival, which also encourages a lot of Asian films that we never experience. And also, not only the films, but we also try to bring and introduce Korean cuisines and Korean dramas, K-pops and Taekwondo and sports. So film is only one part of the activities that we do here in Sri Lanka.
Movie screenings took place today and will take place tomorrow as well.
Veteran Indian actor Mohan Lal, who was in Sri Lanka with his film crew for an exciting new cinematic venture, departed the island today after completing a 6-day visit. Now, in a truly special moment, Newsfirst's Harshini Patirana sat down with the icon of Indian cinema for an exclusive conversation today.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Legendary Indian actor Mohan Lal Vishwanathan and his team wrapped up their 6-day schedule in Sri Lanka, where they began filming scenes for their upcoming multilingual film Patriot. Speaking to Newsfirst, Mohan Lal shared his thoughts on shooting in Sri Lanka, calling it a friendly and welcoming destination for filmmakers.
You have been here in Sri Lanka before. This is your second visit, if I'm correct, and you have been here once as well. How has your experience been so far in Sri Lanka?
This is my second visit because we had a previous schedule. We are doing a very big film in the sense star cast. Myself, Mammootty, Fahad Fasil, Boban Kunjaka, so many. The name of the movie is called Patriot. So, the movie is happening in India and abroad. We are shooting this film in India, in Baku, UK, Middle East, and some portions in Sri Lanka. Definitely the culture, the locations, the attitude, and we found it very friendly, shooting friendly place. And I was very eager to come and shoot a film here because we had a couple of great friends here, and it was my dream to come here and spend some holiday, but it didn't happen. But this is the time, maybe this is the perfect time to come and visit Sri Lanka. If you start something I think Mr. Rajinikanth is coming here, so this is a big space, like a tourism. Film shooting is also a very big industry. That good things happen to the country because this is known for, this is a country of Ravana. As a king, he wants everything good for the country, everything big for the country. But all in the world, the best, right? Let it happen. Let it happen, and we all work for you and for your country. Whatever help from our side, definitely. As a film actor, as a person, as a lover of the country, definitely we can do great things to your country.
Mohan Lal's visit not only highlighted Sri Lanka's cinematic potential, but also underscored the growing collaboration between South Asian film industries.